This is Jamie Dyer welcoming you to another edition of the Quo-Cast. I hope you're having a great December so far. Unfortunately, mine hasn't gone as well as I would have hoped. I, like many others, have caught that bug that's going around. And in particular, the thing that seems to be clinging on for me is a tickly, persistent cough, which meant for 2 or 3 weeks I couldn't film anything. And as such, I had begun to run out of episodes and got to a point where I just had to just bite the bullet and do it. So here I am. You've probably noticed that perhaps I haven't been on top form in the last couple of episodes. And because of all that, I haven't been able to prepare as much as I would have liked. So I thought what I would do here, in order to avoid missing a release day, I want to do kind of an impromptu episode where I'm going to read you a piece which I wrote last year for my website Old Time Review about the 15th anniversary of It's Christmas Time, Status Quo's only Christmas song. So without further ado, and I might jump in and give extra context or things that have changed in the meantime, but we'll see how we go. It is hard to believe it has been 16 years since the release of Status Quo's first and only Christmas-themed single. I remember the excitement I felt at the news that the band would be adding their entry into the Christmas music scene. Other 70s acts, such as Slade, Wizard, and Mud, had embraced the festive period in their heyday. Quo could have done something back then, but the various eras Quo experienced in such a short period of time make it impossible to pinpoint when it would have been best. It is important to establish the significance of It's Christmas Time. Quo had encountered festive UK chart success before 2008, but they weren't Christmas songs. Down Down, an eventual 1975 number one, was first released in the latter part of 1974. Living on an Island, placed in the top 20 at the end of 1979, Margarita Time hit the top 5 over Christmas of 1983, Burning Bridges reached a peak chart position of number 5 in December 1988. The latter is probably the closest to a Christmas single up to that point, owing to the cheerful jig at the centre of the track. Status Quo in 2008 were experiencing another high point in their career. They were celebrating 40 years since the release of Pictures of Matchstick Men by releasing the extensive compilation album Pictures 40 Years of Hits in November 2008. The launch of the album featured an auction of Quo-inspired artwork made by celebrities, musicians, and artists, in which money raised went to the Prince's Trust. The artwork featured in the earbook version of the album. Now let's focus on the song It's Christmas Time. It's Christmas Time was written by Rick Parfitt and Wayne Morris. It was released on the 8th of December 2008. The song was produced by Pip Williams, who had recently been involved with the band again, producing In Search of the Fourth Chord the previous year. Upon first hearing it, I fell in love with the track. The underbelly was pure Quo at their most jolly. A catchy melody with Parfitt's chugging rhythm and memorable lead guitar lines. Rossi on the verse with Parfitt on the bridge, just like old times. On the outer layer was everything one would expect from a commercial Christmas song. It had the typical lyrics associated with the festive period, along with bells and a children's choir. To my personal taste, these obvious elements lifted the track and enhanced its potential for nostalgia. It ensured I would associate this song with the festive season. Now, here's a little aside that after writing this article, it was confirmed to me that Wayne Morris is the one that played the solo on the song, which was lifted directly from the demo. So, the music video, there was a competition for fans to be featured in the music video. From memory, the intention was to intersperse Christmas-related videos from the public with footage from the band. While there were eventually festive clips included in the video, the entries I saw on YouTube were simply fans miming or rocking out to the tune. Even my brother and I did this, completely misunderstanding the brief. The video felt somewhat underwhelming on the first view. In fact, I was studying media at Boston College in Lincolnshire at the time in national diploma level, and a classmate contemporary of mine commented that it looked like a student project, and I couldn't disagree with them at that moment. But what you have to bear in mind was it was 2008 and we were viewing it through bad quality YouTube on a large projection screen, which, let's be honest, even the Wizard of Oz would have looked bad or even terrible when viewed in such circumstances. I remember instances of seeing other music videos during music video class and them going, who's that person with Paul Simon in You Can Call Me Al? And the quality was so terrible that we couldn't see it was Chevy Chase. It was just absolutely awful because it was a different time. I then viewed the video for It's Christmas Time in a much higher quality when it aired on Top of the Pops 2. And I was sat there with the elders in my family watching this. And they were very positive about the song and the video. And when I could finally appreciate the video, I found it was nice to see the band having fun. The timing of the clips and the snow machine at the end. Promotional videos for Christmas songs don't need to be high art. They have the nostalgia factor. And, you know, I watched it just now, actually, and I had literal tears in my eyes. So in terms of UK chart position, the song disappointingly stalled at the number 40 position on the UK charts. It would drop out a couple of weeks later. The failure of this single could be down to many factors. Number one, it was around this time that Woolworths closed their doors for the final time, a store which had been the place for buying physical singles, unless you went to, Virgin a few years before, or even Our Price, obviously. The singles chart had changed, is my number two, with downloads now counting towards positions. That definitely made a difference. I mean, do you remember when Chris Moyles, for example, got Billy Piper's Honey to the Bee into the charts just based on downloads alone? That was only a year or two before this. And finally, number three, It's Christmas Time was included in a Christmas compilation and Pictures 40 Years of Hits. I remember this because, you want to buy the single and you want to try and get it into the charts. I remember downloading it, but there would have been people who would have gone, oh, but I can get the song if I buy Pictures 40 Years, or I can buy this compilation that came out, which I think was called It's Christmas Time, which would have watered down the potential. But then again, like I say, the other factors would have played even bigger parts than this. It could be fair to say that if Quo had released this track a few years earlier, before some of these things came into effect, they would have fared much better. As with a lot of moments in Quo's history, it is a series of unfortunate circumstances which thwart their chart success. So I wrote a last section here called It's Christmas Time in 2023, now 24. In the years since its release, It's Christmas Time has become a cult classic. It will never be among the likes of Mariah, Slade, and Wham, but it has its place. I was once woken up by Chris Evans playing the song on his breakfast show. It was at this moment I knew it was here to stay. It won't be to every Quo fan's taste, but I still feel a festive tingle each December when those guitars kick in. Now, the song was actually re-released on CD and vinyl last year with some 2022 studio re-recordings included. Did you buy it? What do you think of It's Christmas Time as a song? Obviously, there was some renewed interest in the song this year because of Yachtley Crew releasing it in the States, their own version for their Christmas mini album. What do you think of all these things and more? Please do let me know in the comments below. And if you are struggling with illness this December, like I am, then I hope you feel better soon. Thank you very much for listening, for watching. Bye-bye for now.